apologize. We had some internet issues, but we're back for the second Challenger semifinal. The last match of today, alongside me, is Cabbage. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, it's good to be back for MNCS. It's some exciting Rocket League. You know, like you said, have a little bit of delay here, but you know, the teams that arguably is kind of a grand final of Challenger. You know, Lumberjacks Rhythm. It's two teams that people had probably winning it all, and we unfortunately have to see one of them leave the competition here in the semifinal.
Yeah, definitely two strong teams. Rochester auto-qualling actually for LAN. I believe Lumberjacks did as well. So yeah, both of these teams are very strong in both of their conferences. But we're gonna get this match started for you now. Last series of the night, it's gonna be a big one. This, you know, we had this matchup earlier today. Rhythm actually taking that 3-1 in a best of 5 against the Lumberjacks. So maybe a precursor for things to come. We'll see.
Yeah, and of course now best of 7s for the semifinals, so they got a couple more games to work with. And you know, during the season series as well, that was the Lumberjacks took the one meeting in the regular season. It was a 3-0. So you know, a lot of history between these teams in terms of, you know, who's got the advantage. But we'll see what happens.
Yes, Stewie on that one. That's going to be a big miss. 12 seconds into the game, Trash makes it 1-0.
Yeah, and you know, mistakes like that's the unfortunate part of sometimes the LAN environment. You're going to have technical issues, and whoever can pop off the soonest, whoever can come in hot, that's going to be the real difference maker. And you know, just one goal, but good start for Trash. This kickoff here goes inside. DeCarlo's going to kick that one back forward. Stewie, nice touch there, but giving away now. Lozzie, he'll rip this one top shelf. Might get a drop down. He will. Slow is going to find the back of the net there. Great response out of the Miracles.
Yeah, definitely tying up the game. 21 seconds, Scavenger. Have already had 2 goals, so well, all 3 defenders coming in on that one, trying to stop the shot. Slow, just too good for all of them. It's going to be a tie game so far, and it's going to be a huge match. Trash, slow on the kickoff. Stewie up for that one so fast. 0 boost to the tank. Can't really follow like Lozzie. Little attempt with Dicey. Dicey going to go missing. Lozzie trying to pop it up, maybe to himself. Actually goes past one, maybe past 2, trying to get it past Stewie over to the middle. It's going to go over, and still possession for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be really intrigued to see, you know, what the momentum looks like and how the mental hangs on, because I feel like with this one, I feel like both teams have some players who are very passionate and, you know, could get a little bit of a mind game going on. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, I know Dicey, a very competitive player, Trash and Stewie on the other side. Everybody wants to win in this one, and it's going to be a tough back and forth as Lozzie's going to win that one. Stewie, they pass forward, finds Slow, but that's on the opposite side, so Trash can actually go for a double touch here. Dicey, nice touch off the corner, and the Miracles chance to clear.
Off corner, Slow having to defend that one, just going to try and send it out, I think. Just trying their best to keep it out of their half right now. Lozzie on third has to make that save, or clear rather, and makes a really good one. Stewie sending that back in the mixer. Both defenders up for that one. A weird double commit from Slow and Dicey. You don't usually see that from those players. We're still tied up 1-0. Lozzie trying to get it to a teammate, but Trash, great positioning there. Not so good of a touch. That's going to be an opportunity for Dicey. Puts it off the post. Lozzie trying to get another one going off the backboard, maybe to his teammate. Slow up for that one. Dicey up for the bump. Fakes it instead. Slow to score.
Yeah, and that one I was worried Dicey's miss was going to cost him there, but able to recover it. Nicely done, Lozzie. Beautiful double touch there. Passes it out center. Slow's got a not really an open net. I almost said open, but Stewie and DeCarlo both there, but finds the opening there, and it's a great shot there. I was worried with Dicey. You know, some games like these, it can be that 1 or 2 opportunities you get that make the difference, but you know, Lozzie and co. clean that one up.
Trash trying to send that one in, trying to tie up the game for his team. Dicey with a huge save on the backboard. Slow, but that's going to be over to the middle. Lozzie maybe trying to bang one up. DeCarlo has to aerial backwards. Not able to get a touch either. Lozzie to the middle. Stewie saving the day for his team, clearing it out all the way to the other side of the field. Trash, maybe an opportunity here. Slow to send it all the way back. It might just be in, but DeCarlo, the hero himself, saving that one for his team. Lozzie just taking it downfield, and Rochester, you know, they have the lead, but they don't have much possession. They're just kind of banging the ball around.
Yeah, but it might work, and there it goes. Dicey gets a third one across the line, and, you know, possession really doesn't matter if you're able to find a way to slam it home, and Lozzie another assist on that one there. A great little touch up off the top of the ceiling. Waterfalls down and cleaned up there by the captain and GM of this squad here. It's now Lumberjacks. They got to find a way to bounce back in this one. Still 2.5 to go. Is that Dicey? Another great dunk there. Trash has to put it off to the corner. One sent the other direction. Trash now once again, but Lozzie intercepts. Stewie Boot this one the length of the field. Slow, can't quite get to it, so Dicey back on defense. Nice touch over Stewie there. DiCarlo, no challenge in, but Dicey able to get a little backwards clear and stick out for a moment.
Yeah, Lozzie having an aerial backwards for that one. Still 2-goal lead. Stewie having a reverse on that one. Maybe a pass to the middle. Double commit, I think. A pinch from them as well. Slow gets a pass too. Thrash by himself, 19 boost. Has to turn on it. Slow, not a great touch. That could have been a great opportunity to extend their lead. Get that this time though. Thrash away from it. Actually, Lumberjacks looks very defensive, Cabbage. I've almost never seen them play this one.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting too because, you know, for the Lumberjacks, their offense has been the key piece for them all season. Best offense, you know, one of the best shooting teams in the league, but it's really been their defense that has let them down, 7th in goals against per game. So, you know, I was expecting high scoring, but I was expecting the Lumberjacks just to basically say, you can score 4 on us, we can score 5 back. Great bump there. DiCarlo finds that one. Solo play there. Nicely done.
Yeah, 1st in goals per game over the course of the season and showing it there with that play. DiCarlo getting another goal for his team. That's going to cut their deficit in half, Cabbage. 1 goal remaining. 1 minute and 23 seconds. That's more than enough time, but they have to use that time well. Possessing the ball, not giving it away to Rochester unnecessarily. Dicey trying to get a touch off the backward. Trash will be there instead. Slow. Get that one up. Stewie goes missing. DiCarlo off the backward. Maybe a teammate to follow up. No, DiCarlo will himself. Slow over to Dicey. No, over to Lozzie. That's going to be a great shot. 4-2 rhythm. Yeah,
and what a passing play there. That's what you love to see. That's the chemistry you expect to see all season long. And Slow just picks out his teammate crossfield there. Dicey to clear, then into Slow. Lozzie, open net there. He's not going to miss that one. And, I mean, that's a great response once again out of the rhythm. Stretching that lead back to 2. So, you know, still a chance with the Lumberjacks, but I think 4 goals is probably going to be too insurmountable in this one.
They still have a chance, of course. Lumberjacks with their famous offense. Like you said earlier, you mentioned that. Maybe trying to get something going. Dicey going for the redirect. That would have been very ambitious, but not able to get that one. He has some time to make a hit. Gonna opt to bang it downfield. Stewie, 0 boost. Does get the clear. Trash and DiCarlo both up for this one. Stewie, 0 boost. Not able to get the touch on that one. Slow trying to get a middle. Flip reset attempt. Not able to get that either. Over to the middle. That's a great pass from the defender, I believe. Dicey to finish.
Yeah, Trash. That one, I don't know if he was trying to go cross net with it. I think he was trying to take it low, but then DiCarlo was there. It just, everything kind of fell apart there. So for the Lumberjacks, I think you just write this off. Don't even, you know, don't care that extra goal. We always talk about it, but, you know, I think this team is kind of a team that's confident that they can win, so they don't really need that one extra goal as Stewie's to play a little defense here. Trash almost own goals it off of Stewie. So I think for the Lumberjacks, honestly, take a little bit of time here. Talk about what you're expecting for Game 2 and how to get that communication lined up, because it feels a little lacking right now.
Of course, Game 1, you can't always take conclusions from that, but 10 seconds left on this one. Maybe an attempt to get one for the road. Not able to get that one. Stewie off the wall. Dash up for this one. DiCarlo up as well. A redirect off the bottom. It's going to drop. Rhythm taking Game 1. And, yeah, you know, Rhythm, we saw them win earlier against the Lumberjacks. I thought maybe Lumberjacks, you know, with their stellar offense, how they performed throughout the course of the season, I thought they would come back. But Rochester takes the first game. Yeah,
and that was a pretty strong game start to finish. I mean, the first goal of the game, was that with the Lumberjacks or the Rhythm? I don't actually remember. But, you know, 2 goals in the first 20 seconds, it's not always what you expect. But then the recovery there for the Rhythm, they looked solid. I mean, take a look at the stats for this one. Not a lot of defense being played. That's the interesting part here to take a look at. You know, 8 shots, 5 goals, and the other side 3 shots, 2 goals. So really, you know, neither team playing too much defense, and I think that definitely speaks to the way that these two teams play, is that it's very, very offensively minded, and the Rhythm come out on top of this one. But I think the Lumberjacks can try to possess a little bit more. They'll do better. It's too much just ripping it downfield, and then the Rhythm are too good of a team to do that against.
Definitely. We know Rochester has a very defensive team, I would say. You know, erring on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And Lumberjacks, yeah, if you don't have those offensive plays on point, if you're just giving the ball away, Rochester will take that ball and they will score with it, as they've done in Game 1, as they've done in the past series. So, you know, definitely something to change for them moving forward. But yeah, Lumberjacks needs to make some changes before this gets too late. Remember, this is a best of 7. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the good news for the Lumberjacks there. It's just Game 1, you know. I know they've been with their back against the wall. Trash, good save there to Carlos to follow it up. That one dangerous in the opening moments once again. But, you know, at this point, it's basically just, you know, survive for a little bit in this one, try to find that opening goal. If you can steal back the momentum, I think it'll be all your series to play for. But if the Rhythm start piling on goals here again, I worry about the Lumberjacks and if they can hang on.
Lumberjacks, I already see them going for more aggressive plays. DiCarlo off the ceiling. That's just going to go in 1-0 Lumberjacks.
And that one's kind of fortunate, I guess. DiCarlo may have actually tried to place that one there. I don't know. Maybe he was going for the double touch, it looks like. But sometimes you get the lucky bounce and get great placement off the ceiling. And I don't think the Lumberjacks will complain.
No, definitely. I agree. I think he was going for the double touch. Didn't quite work out. But yeah, definitely no complaints here. That's going to be a very important goal for this game to come. Slow bouncing it down, trying to get another touch. Stewie is going to be there instead. Crash this one. And what I want to mention is Lumberjacks, you know, the chemistry that they have, the passes that they make to each other, it's so fast. In Rochester, almost the same thing, just that chemistry. And that's why those teams are at the LAN, at this event. That chemistry is so important. North in chemistry, you need goals. Stewie trying to get one for his team, another one. Carlo onto the corner, Dicey trying to clear it out. That's just going to be downfield. Easy bounce for Stewie, just a bang down to Rochester's half. Lozzie on the backboard, thankfully gets the corner boost. Had 0 in the tank. Trash up for this one, beating slow off the backboard. Lozzie there. Dicey double committing. This could be an opportunity for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I don't think DiCarlo expected that one to come across the wall. He was in the right spot, but just didn't quite have the read on it. So that one kind of betrayed him there. Nice pass down, and that one's going to end up in DiCarlo's hands. Can he do anything with it? Bump there, but 2 players in front of him. And yeah, that one's going to be saved. A little bit too ambitious there. A double commit, and that's not what the Lumberjacks need. They've been able to kind of really stretch the defense of the Rhythm, and I think, you know, play as a team, play as a unit, and use those 3 players with boost versus the 1 or 2 defenders which are low. And you'll have much more success. As another opportunity here. Trash, tight angle shot. Lozzie, nice save there, but still backs against the wall.
And Trash, that wasn't even on target. That wasn't even going, you know, there was a save, but it wasn't even on target, which is very unusual for Trash. Usually he's the one banging in goals left and right. You know, you can't stop the man. This series just not moving up yet so far. Dicey trying to get it middle, and Dicey has been a huge part of his team. I think it's just that glue that holds his team together. Lozzie having to save that one, slow getting a touch. Carlo by himself. Dicey steps in. That was a good touch, I believe, to get the defender off of it. Trash. Boost. He banged outfield to Carlo. It's going to be too fast for him at 0 into tank. Stewie with 50 off the ceiling. Trash there as well. Another 50 to Carlo up for this one. Oh, that's not a good touch. Dicey. Stewie lunges in for that challenge, and thankfully it's a 50.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a dangerous one there, but I saw another boost steal coming out for the Lumberjacks, and that's going to be big coming later into this game, is that if this continues with just a 1-0 scoreline, any little bit of boost that you can steal is huge, and that's a long shot there. DiCarlo, is that in? It's not. Can he follow? Yes, he can. He follows it up himself, and that one there is just, Rhythm can't let that one bounce on your goal line for that long.
Slow. It didn't have the read, which is very unusual. You know, he's played in CRL, played in Premier even, and you know, you would expect him to make those reads, but didn't make the read. They're going to be punished for it. 2-0 for the Lumberjacks. That's going to do wonders for their confidence damage. But, you know, losing game 1 and losing that series before, that is not like that. That ego a little bit, but that's a great shot coming out from the Rochester Rhythm. Not going to go in this time, Lozzie. That's not such a great shot. It's going to be easy for the defenders to get out. Trash forces Dicey to go over the wall. DiCarlo for this one. Slow beats him. It goes over. Is the follow-up there? No, Trash will be there instead off the backboard. Dicey trying to send that downfield. Rochester trying to get something going.
Yeah, and right there, opportunities presenting themselves, but you got to have a player there. I don't care if you're trying to play a more defensive mindset. Somebody's got to be there on such a great opportunity, and it's thrown away by the Rhythm. Now, you know, minute 17. Do they have anything left? Can you really make an attempt back into this one? Because the Lumberjacks, they're feeling comfortable. They'll just play possession. As we see here, Trash just putting pressure on, and he'll go up and drop it down, trying to get the pass to DiCarlo, but Lozzie steps in on that one. Stewie rips this one back the other direction. I mean, they'll just keep playing, you know, monkey in the middle, tossing it back and forth because they don't need to score.
Comfortable 2-0 lead in this one. That's going to go missing. That could be an opportunity. Dicey puts it high over the crossbar. Stewie actually gets it over the corner. Slow getting bumped by his teammate. Not going to get a good shot on that, but another double commit on the side of the Lumberjacks. If Lozzie can clear this downfield, there may be an opportunity. DiCarlo sending it to the corner. A great touch from Stewie. And, you know, those are the passes you want to see if you're a Lumberjacks fan.
Yeah, and again, it was just, an opportunity, but just not quite clean enough. And Dicey, he's going to be kicking himself. That was, that's one or two opportunities his team has had where they could conceivably be tied. And I mean, that one was a huge one too. Wide open net, just panics or something, puts it way too high. Stewie's going to get a third. Nice and easy there. I guess a third for his team off the touch there by DiCarlo. And, Lozzie, nothing he can do in that situation. So Lumberjacks are going to tie it up one apiece. I mean, Rhythm, this is a quiet game from you, and this seems like the Lumberjacks have woken up. So, I mean, what do you even do in Game 3, though?
Yeah, this is the Lumberjacks I expected to see in this matchup. Rochester slowing down a little bit, getting a little bit cold, and I think they need to recover from that. They need to get more passive. Those possessions, keeping the ball away from Lumberjacks is almost more important than passing to a teammate, because as soon as Lumberjacks get it, and they'll take Game 2, that's going to tie up the series 1-1. As soon as Lumberjacks get it, they're a threat on your goal, so you need to keep it away from them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A pretty strong game for them, and it's just, it's what we expected as a kind of a rebound game there, honestly. 9 shots as a team as opposed to the 7 of the Rhythm. So that one, we talked about like no defense in Game 1, but that one was kind of all defense, where it was 6 saves for the Lumberjacks, 5 for the Rhythm. So, I mean, it's just going to be interesting because I feel like the Rhythm, they just were so potent in Game 1, and then there it's just still had the shot totals, which I was not expecting that. I thought their shot totals were going to be, maybe 3 or 4, but 7's a decent haul there, but just nothing nearly dangerous enough. And I guess other thing is accuracy there. We saw a couple opportunities. You can't send it off the crossbar. You can't send it sky high. It's just inexcusable in a situation like this.
Yeah, definitely, where the stakes are this high. I mean, this decides whether you continue to tomorrow into that Challenger Grand Final or if you go home. So definitely huge stakes on the line. And this is not the time to be, whiffing balls, faking when you shouldn't be, or, not putting the shot in the net that you really need to. So I agree completely. For the Lumberjacks, I think it's not uncommon to see a Game 1 where one team blows out the other, and then a Game 2 where the other team blows out the other. That's fairly common, I would say. So, I wouldn't take any conclusions from this so far.
Yeah, and I mean, the other thing, too, is I want to know how much there is when it comes down to communication, things like that, because for the Rochester Rhythm, they're a team that I would trust to be pretty calm under pressure. But, there was a few times in there where it was like that might have just been a miscommunication where you just got to, talk about what you're going to do a little bit sooner, because that way, you'd have allowed Dice to go for the shot. He sends it too high. Lozzie can be there for the follow-up, something like that. But just wasn't quite happening. So, game number 3 now. Lumberjacks trying to continue this hot streak here as Trash is to dive back on that one. Does get the save. A little bit in peril for a moment. Slow's trying to put the shot, and he does. Top shelf. Slow through a defender. Finds the gap.
A pre-jump from the defender there. I didn't see who it was exactly. I think it was DiCarlo there. Trash instead, actually. I think he might have had that save. But yeah, Slow puts that in perfectly. Top left corner. 1-0 to the Rhythm. That's going to be a great answer for them.
Yeah, and now it's, can they continue this momentum here? Stewie has to go up for this one. Good touch off to the corner. Is he going to pick this one up himself? A demo net there. I like that a little bit. A little physicality coming out for the Rochester side. Dice is going to send this one hard. He might go for a demo. He does get a bump there at least, so that's something. But, of course, that runs the risk of having nobody able to take the shot. Lozzie does cut in his third, but it's a little bit too late for really a potent opportunity there.
Trying to get through the mess of the defenders for Lumberjacks. Passing to himself, actually, maybe off the backboard. Slow definitely has that touch. Coming off the backboard. There's not enough boost to work with. Dicey's going to take over instead. Lozzie up for that one. That could be an opportunity for Stewie. Sends it high off the top left corner, but Slow. This could be an opportunity. Only one back. Stewie back by himself. 0 boost for Slow. Fakes the flick. Not going to work on Dicey. Lozzie up for that one. Dicey trying to get back for this one. Stewie up. Flip reset, maybe not able to use that touch. Trash trying to send it right. Lozzie up for that one. But that's not going to go to a teammate, Cabbage. That needs to go to a teammate.
Yeah, I can excuse it a little bit just for panic defending, but definitely, you see it right here. Lumberjacks take possession over and they can try the other direction. I think, I hope this isn't what the case is, but it just felt like it's who's going to whiff less in the game is whoever takes the victory. Trash takes that one. And I say whiffs. That might have been a little bit of a defensive whiff, honestly.
I could feel the awkwardness on the defensive side there. Both players awkward, not able to get a touch. And Trash places that perfectly. Yeah, definitely no saving that for them, and that's just their positioning. I think they're getting too far apart, too spread apart because of the hits that Lumberjacks have. That could be another opportunity. Going to go off the crossbar for DeCarlo.
Yeah, another dangerous chance there right off the kickoff. And I mean, the Lumberjacks, that's the risk for both of these sides. Is it feels like, you know, we know both of them so well, but it feels like at any moment you could just have them score 3 or 4 goals in a row. You know, we'll probably only see 1 or 2, but it just feels like you don't want to give them any wind under their wings. Excuse me. Just that they'll take that run with it. Ozzy, nice little pass out center, but again, like you mentioned, nobody there to receive that one, and they got to be closer. You know, you don't want to be too close, but you know, one player at the center line and 2 back on defense, never going to work out against challenging players.
Definitely, and you can see Lumberjacks' confidence in the air. I think it's unmatched within the Challenger League. With them struggling to deal with it, Trash almost getting a shot on net. So at least Dicey trying to pinch it past 1. Carlo going to be there, but Lozzie gets it past 1 as well. Stewie there, and Lumberjacks following up on that. Stewie there as well, and Trash taking over top right. Bins Cabbage. They can't keep scoring.
Yeah, and for Dicey there, I don't know what the touch was there. I don't know why. Honestly, I feel like if that just goes off the backboard, it might even be in a better spot. I think he would have liked to know that he had the space to just set it into the corner, even catch it off the back wall and go for the follow-up clear. So maybe a mistouch there, but regardless, you know, Lumberjacks, they'll say, we'll take that NBA of the week. Trash is going to put that away. Stewie wants another one here. Slow it to touch that forward. Lumberjacks had to be careful now. You know, it's good to see them being confident, but overconfidence can be a silent killer, and you know that would be the worst way to just let your opponents back into this one. Just overcommit, give them space. This one might be a chance. Slow, good 50 there, as DeCarlo wins that one away.
Dicey in the corner for this one. Previously a LAN winner within MNCS as well, winning the Challenger League like in Season 3, so he has that under belt, the experience. And not only that, but the ice in these fleeting moments of maybe you need a goal or you need to make a save, and he has that unlocked for sure. Leading his team, but his team's going to need another goal to tie up this one and hopefully take the lead in the series for them. But Trash off that one, not going to be able to get a good shot off Dicey. Pass one off the ceiling. Aussie there as well, but that's just bang downfield, and that's an easy clear for Trash.
Yeah, goodness is Trash actually kind of just hands it back, but then Slow's touch isn't too useful. Oh, it actually is. Lozzie, off the top corner there. Oh, man, I didn't think that Lozzie had that angle, but Slow's really soft touch. Trash just turns back. I wonder if he was low on boost, because that feels like one where usually you just jump up and go for it and probably get a 50 or force a more awkward shot, but kind of hesitates there. And that comes back to haunt them. So 2 apiece. I mean, I was going to say in Game 1, it seems like 3 goals might be the mark to hit if you want to win in the series. And so far, that's been the case. First person to 3 gets the game.
Definitely so far. I think Trash offered on that play, maybe not expecting that specific outcome, but Carlo trying to get the game-winning goal for his team. 30 seconds left, approaching golden goal territory. Dicey on this one. Lozzie, that's a huge miss. Dicey bailing out his team there. Slow as well, getting a great touch past the defender.
That actually might work great. Lozzie, if he can double touch this while Stewie interrupts that play. But I was going to say, might kind of drawn the attackers in, but fortunately they have some solid defense there out of Stewie, as that's another 50 back the other direction. Lozzie, a little bit of a team collision there. Has a chance to 50 on that one. Stewie just over jumps that one. DeCarlo has a chance with a 0-second goal. Maybe out mid. Dicey dangerous, but Trash can't reach it. So first overtime of this one, 2 apiece. I mean, this could be a real big moment in the series, because winner of this one, it depends on how long this overtime is. If it's short, I don't think it really matters much, but if it's long, those really drain all that energy out of you and just kills you for Game 4.
Definitely losing those long overtimes will definitely get out your energy. It could have been a close shot for Dicey. Slow up for this one off the backboard. Defender's there, not able to get another touch on it. That's going to leave Lozzie in a defensive position. And yeah, definitely, whoever wins this will have a lot of momentum. Huge momentum shift between Game 1 and Game 2. Both teams taking 1 game apiece, but this could be it. DeCarlo is going to be off. Maybe trying to get another touch, not able to. Lozzie off the wall. Maybe not enough boost to work with. Opts to go on the ground. Over the corner, gets another touch, but Stewie not having any of that. 0 boost in the tank, not going to be able to follow it. DeCarlo will instead. Still diving across his net to get to that. And a huge pinch backwards.
Yeah, that was really dangerous there for the Lumberjacks. All 3 players ahead of the center line, and all 3 in that same corner. I really don't like that rotation coming out from them there. And I get wanting to just drive the dagger home and take the victory, but not the time and place to do that, I don't think. And they do escape for now, but Slow runs across field pass. Lozzie, can he be there? He can. Soft touch for one. Can he follow it up? He does, but nobody there. Not really a great spot for that one to go to. So Lumberjacks might have a chance now. Slow, he'll follow that up, but it just feels like these shots don't quite have that little bit that you need, as Lozzie might prove me wrong. Oh, that's off the post. Lozzie looking for the game winner, can't quite find it.
But I love the ideas coming out from Rochester. They're trying things. They're trying passing plays. They're trying a pinch to a pass, to another pass to the corner, to Carla to clear that one out. Trash getting bumped on the way out from Slow. Trash maybe off the wall. Both of his teammates sitting back on defense. That could have been a good idea, actually. Stewie dunking that one Slow by himself. Stewie trying to get it to the middle. Still has the ball over to the middle. That's a huge pass. Trash. Slow makes the save. That could have been a huge goal. Well, it would have been a huge goal ending overtime. Lozzie over to that one. Dicey to shoot. Stewie to make the save.
Yeah, but could be a follow-up here. Dicey has a chance, but Stewie, a heroic save. Gets the follow-up. Both teams with huge saves there. Slow and Stewie just finding a way to make it happen where it seems so unlikely. But that tiny bit extra, that tiny second ahead, and it counts. And now DeCarlo, he'll have a chance to end this one. Bump there. That's going to be open. Trash dunks over top, and there we go. Lumberjacks take back-to-back, this one in overtime. And the Rhythm, they're going to need to respond in huge fashion here.
Physical play damage, that's what it took to get through one of these teams. They both looked so equal. They both had huge chances that maybe didn't go their way, but for this one, Lumberjacks, they got the bump. They got the physical play. They got the shot, and they got their goal.
Yeah, and I mean, take a look at the shot totals on this one. It's 10 saves for the Rhythm, and that is 14 shots for the Lumberjacks. So that tells you teams are playing some good defense. There was some missed opportunities, some shots that probably should have landed that didn't, so that's a little bit tougher to deal with. But, I think the Lumberjacks are going to be okay with that one. It felt very panicky at some moments, but they held on, and I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how much you panicked, how much you whiffed, how much you did anything wrong, as long as you got the game win. And so Rhythm, now I need to see more to you. That's good defensive effort there, but 10 shots, only 2 goals. Got to see something more of that, especially when you were a decent shooting team, 30% on the season. So it's just more out of Rhythm, honestly.
Yeah, Lumberjacks, I just want to highlight Stewie has 7 shots and 0 goals, unfortunately. Trash scoring a hat trick, actually. All 3 of their goals were scored by him. So huge showing up by him, and maybe, definitely showing up in this one. A lot of people have said that he's probably one of the premier players to go to Premier. So, definitely putting out a huge showing here, maybe even winning LAN would be absolutely huge for his draft stock. But we're going to get into Game 4 here. Lumberjacks with the advantage 2-1. I
do have to say, though, I've been seeing a lot of assists for both sides, too. So that's something good to see, where it tells you that it's not always solo plays slow. He has a chance early on. Once again, they were trying to get that 10-second goal, basically, but it's the passing plays that's been getting it done, and the game winner there, DeCarlo pass and bump both. Lozzie, good save there. Bumps that one forward. Dicey, he'll get the clear, and I mean, now Rhythm, let's see it out of you.
That worried me there. Yeah. Almost went off the post, almost couldn't make the save, but he does. We remain young in this one. Slow. Takes a 50 with Trash. That goes middle. Could be awkward for Stewie. A pass backwards from Dicey, but it works out. Lozzie there to receive it. Maybe off the corner. Zero boost to work with. Still causing chaos for the Bemidji Lumberjacks with our defense. They were downfield. Lozzie over that one. Maybe trying to pass to a teammate. Is slow there. He is not going to be able to get there first. Stewie with low boost trying to carry it out. And I love the possession and the pressure that Rochester is putting on the Lumberjacks right now.
Yeah, early on, it's been good to see. It's an encouraging sign that this series might go to Game 7. I would say this is one that has that potential, but the problem is that it doesn't matter what that pressure is, doesn't matter how the possession is going. You got to find the back of the net, and that was, we saw 10 shots out of them last game. It was not too much of an issue to get shots. It wasn't too much of an issue as Trash might get this one. He does! Trash, beautiful solo play there, and you talked about him being a player to watch. I mean, GMs are loving this, I'd say.
Oh, yeah, I have my eye on Trash for sure. And the fake from his teammate, I think, helped out with that challenge coming out to the side of the wall. But, yeah, great solo play from Trash. He's known for those as well. He's one of those players that can pop off at any moment, and you don't know when he's going to pop off. So he's in danger for sure. Lozzie to take a shot. That's going to be one back for the Rhythm.
Yeah, this one was really weird too. Two players on the back wall there as DeCarlo. Oh, Stewie comes cross net there. I think DeCarlo must have called that he was low or something similar, because no way Stewie would go for that. If DeCarlo says he's got it. So I think just maybe a low boost, maybe a bad position, but Rhythm, that's a good response there. 90 seconds into this one, a quick first 90. So he's just kind of seeing who gets the next one. That might be a little bit of momentum, but of course, it's the 3-goal magic. That's what it comes down to right now.
Maybe that could be it, but Stewie actually is going to score himself. That's going to be 2 for the Lumberjacks, regaining their lead once again. Rochester having difficulty. Dicey and Slow. I don't know if you saw that, Cabbage. Following Trash right behind him, neither of them on defense, leaving the sole defender, the other player on their team, alone by himself. Yeah, and I know that the Lumberjacks, they're going to love that because, of course, especially because they didn't get the demo out of that, it just takes 2 players out of the play. And I don't think the Lumberjacks player was ever too nervous about that because they were like, hey, I got full boost. I'll just keep on going supersonic here. You can never catch up. So, take their own players out of the play, and that's fine for the Lumberjacks. Now Dicey has a chance from range. Can that get in? No, it can't. DeCarlo's going to whiff, though, so Lawsy has a chance, and Lawsy's going to tie it right back up. Lumberjacks, you take the lead, but you got to hold on to it. Hey, Rochester, they see what Lumberjacks are doing, the demos, the physical play. They're going to have something in on that as well. Dicey going for that, getting it, and that's going to be a prime target for Lawsy to tie it up for his team. 2-2 in this game, and I think if Rhythm can get any kind of lead, any kind of momentum, that could be scary for the Lumberjacks. Dicey maybe trying to get himself, almost getting it past 2, but Trash able to defend that one. His teammates Slow following that one, tracking it as well. But maybe trying to go for a bump. Both defenders there. Lawsy sending it down. Trash up for this one. This could be a dangerous position, but thankfully not much boost to work with.
Yeah, and you talk about the physical play. These two teams, regular season, combined for just under 8 demos per game, but it felt like we haven't really seen that many. So I think these teams might be saying, okay, we gotta do something to split up these defenses. As we see another demo there, Lawsy takes out Stewie. Dicey out towards mid. Is anyone there? No, just Trash. He's able to clear that up, and that was a golden opportunity there as Lawsy put this one high off the backboard. 2 players there. DeCarlo, that's kind of a whiff there. Slow shot there, but that one slow and low. Stewie can find his way back onto that one. I mean, it's the right idea, but especially in an opportunity like that where you've got a player so awkward in net, got to find a way to put a better shot on net.
Definitely, that has to be faster and in a better spot as well. So awkward for them. They may come to regret that chance not taking that as well. Slow getting demoed by DeCarlo. That leaves Trash free to go for an aerial play here. Stewie opting not to go for that. It's going to go for a boost instead. I think the defenders have the ball anyway. Dicey popping that one up to Slow. He misses instead. That's going to be off the ceiling. Lawsy there. Touch over to Dicey. Dicey up for that one, maybe off the backboard, but it's going to be banged back instead. We're seeing it so back and forth, and I don't want to mention back and forth because obviously it's always back and forth, but the amount of clears that go across the field, I mean, it's unprecedented. I haven't even seen this before.
Yeah, well, and that tells you how even these teams are. It's like we've been saying all series. It's the two teams that, number one in both their respective conferences. Most teams. Or most people's favorite to win the tournament. Either one of these two teams, you hardly see someone saying one of the others will. So, that's going to be the challenge tomorrow for the Atlas, I believe. But just right now, like you said, it's clears back and forth, and I wonder if it's going to be one team finally realizing that maybe we should try to control it a bit more. But it's so fast-paced, and teams just kind of throwing all the bodies at it and see what happens.
As soon as one of these teams get their no, Trash says that one. As soon as these teams get their passes on point, I think the floodgates are going to open. Neither of these teams look quite on point. Stewie, that was a good shot, low and fast, but Slow saves that one instead. Gets the boost just in time to take a shot. It's going to be off. So getting it past to Lawsy there instead. And Lawsy has been doing a great job as third man. Just whenever his teammates are out of position or maybe not there to get the ball, he's there instead. And he's going to be absolutely crucial for his team. 10 seconds left. Captain, we may be heading to another overtime in the series. Lumberjacks win that. I don't know if Rhythm can come back, but we may not even be going there. Lumberjacks taking a shot. It's going to be off target and be saved. Overtime we go.
Yeah, and I think about another second on the clock there. I'm fairly certain Stewie slams that one home off the back post. I mean, there was an opportunity there for the Rhythm, but just couldn't find the dagger in the 2v1. It's tough. It's a little bit tougher in Rocket League, I'd say, than most other sports in those player advantages, but you should be able to finish them if you want to be the team that wins Challenger, and I think this team has the pedigree to finish it. So, Disappointed to see that there, but, overtime, we'll see another 3-2 final scoreline as the Lumberjacks taking that 3-1 lead. Are we tied up 2 apiece? I mean, it is probably the pivotal game in this series. I think the Rhythm could still take it even if they lose this, but that's a mountain and a half to climb.
Yeah, and even if they do win, it's still a mountain to climb. Of course, when they do tie up the series, of course, that's the most important detail there. But Trash, that's a high shot, great save from Slow, and I'm seeing consistently great saves from Slow as well. So it's great to see. And of course, probably the most defensive player on that team, showing it here. Dicey getting it off the wall. DiCarlo to take a shot that might just go in. A great save from Lozzie off of his own crossbar. Slow following this one. That's going to be another attempt from Trash. Over to DiCarlo. Back to Trash. That's going to be in. Lumberjacks take game 4.
Oh, and what a pass that was. I thought that was a mistouch there. I was like, DiCarlo, why are you touching this? That is why he throws Lozzie off. Lozzie was ready for the front post, was not ready for that little sidewall touch there. And, oh, man, that's beautiful there for the Lumberjacks. I mean, solid regardless. Like, great to get the game win, but doing it in that fashion with that goal right there, huge. Thing to mention, though, back-to-back overtime games. So Rhythm are down 3-1, back against the wall, but I really don't think that they're going to be that nervous right now. I don't really think they need to be that concerned. I think it's just Slow and Dicey got to step it up a bit more. We take a look at the scores. Lozzie's up there, 2 goals, 4 saves, 3 shots. That's a huge stat line from him. We need someone else to be there. It can be a 2-man show. It can be a 3-man show, but it can't be a 1-man show against the Lumberjacks.
Definitely. I agree completely. And honestly, you probably need all 3.
Yeah.
For being realistic, especially when the Lumberjacks are on point. They're just an insane team. But yeah, Slow and Dicey definitely need to step it up. Maybe some passes as well. But Lumberjacks, they showed what works against Rochester. They know what works now. And like you said, for Rochester, definitely not... that's not the end of the world. It's definitely backs against the wall. But you've shown that you can hang with them. You went to overtime twice. Yes, you did lose, but you got there in the first place. That's something to think about.
I honestly think, too, it's the biggest thing is cleaning up those regulation chances. It's, again, we saw 1 or 2 opportunities where it's just, the ball gets absolutely shanked wide of net, shanked high, something wrong. And for the Rhythm, it's a team that I don't expect to do that too much. And so, like you said, they're hanging in there. It's good, but, I mean... It feels like these are games that could have been winnable in regulation, and you had the opportunities, just couldn't convert.
Yeah, and honestly, that's probably the story for a lot of LAN teams. Is you just don't, get the goal on the day, even if you have the shot. So that's just the difference between these 2 teams. As Slow peels out his teammate once again. Really a monster on defense for this team. Dicey awkward. Lozzie's going to take over, and yeah, I've seen some awkward rotations from Dicey. Maybe just a little of awkward play in this. First 30 seconds of game 4, game 5, excuse me. This one, I thought they were going for a pinch. That would have been a pretty mad shot. Stewie over to the middle, actually, maybe doing it himself, off the corner, almost getting it there.
Yeah, what a highlight play that would have been out of Stewie. It was definitely almost had it. I mean, it wasn't far off as Dicey puts a top shelf shot, Lozzie going for interference, and I mean, that's really the danger right there. What I saw for Lozzie is that he was going for the bump, but it really wasn't productive. It really didn't do much there, and that's what's concerning when it comes down to these teams when they try to use that physical play is, can you use it in useful spots? Can it be impactful physical play? Because you can go for boosts all the time, and we've seen teams absolutely run circles around other teams who are trying to demo. So right here, we just got to see Rhythm. If you're going to be physical, make it matter. Otherwise, just be crisp on those passes.
Yeah, definitely. Getting demos is great, but they have to be at the right time to really be impactful, like you said. Especially in this match, one demo, if it's not affecting the play, that's probably a wasted opportunity for you to be even in that position. But that one getting bumped. Trash, that's going to leave it for him. Dicey free-jumping that one, not allowing Trash any space, which is exactly what you need to do. That may just go in. Stewie making that stop. Dicey in the middle to Carlo. It's not a good pass to the defense. Gets demoed for their efforts, though. Still 0-0.
Yeah, and for oh, that's gonna be a dangerous one there. Oh, Trash.
No. Another cast occurs.
Oh, Stewie, bounce shot. Oh, far post bounce shot. Stewie finds that one, and Lumberjacks once again just find a way to score.
Trash. I think he put the defense off there because you see Trash coming towards you, and panic ensues. And he missed that one obviously, and the follow-up was there. They just couldn't deal with it. I think it's the chaos of Lumberjacks. But no, I think it's the chaos of Lumberjacks. They're doing a great job of throwing Rochester off. If Rochester has their Rotation's on point. Trash. That's going to be on point. Top right corner. 2-0 for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, and I feel like you could really see the wheels turning for Lawsy here, where he's like, all right, I got to get enough boost so I can go up the sidewall, fight against Trash, and then drops just a hair too low, takes top shelf down. And I mean, that's tough for the Rhythm. And I was going to say, compliments to the Lumberjacks in this series. It's felt like a lot of bend don't break, where it's, you know, their defense is struggling, their defense is, you know, giving up some goals, but it's not enough of a landslide to really matter. And that's what's keeping them in it. Now they might just be running away with this game. DeCarlo's gonna have a chance for another one. DeCarlo puts it away. And this might just be a victory lap here for the Lumberjacks. Like you said, you know, they lost earlier in the day, but this one, whole new story being written.
That's not an easy shot, which for DeCarlo, especially under pressure. I mean, sure, you're 2-0 up, and hopefully for you, the last game of the series, but that's definitely a hard shot under pressure, and banging that one in, absolutely perfect placement. That's definitely something to say for how they're handling the situation, and that's why they're 3-0 up. That's why they're 3-1 up in the series, but they're trying to make it 4. Stewie to DeCarlo. That's a huge pass. DeCarlo again off the backboard. Lausanne slow, awkward. The defense of Rochester is in shambles right now. Dicey getting that pass as well. Trash over the middle. Slow to take a shot. Maybe getting one. Dicey there as well. Takes a 50. And like you said, Cabbage Lumberjacks, no matter how much pressure they're under, they survive no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, that one there is just bodies in front of the ball, and that's what takes care of it. And DeCarlo finally gets the clear, and I mean, it's not really pretty. It's not really, you know, some of like what we saw from this last season, really refined Rocket League. But I mean, I really can't say anything against it, because at some point it gets the wins, and they're looking strong in this one. Double commit there, that's not going to be great. Slow. Oh, he sends that one high and wide. I think Stewie probably had the save unless he gets a real hard shot low, but man, I mean, that just might be the storyline for this one for the Rhythm. That it's just good opportunities, can't quite capitalize, and the Lumberjacks able to survive. Is now that's a good pass downfield. DeCarlo's going to put that one away. Beautiful pass there for the Lumberjacks, and like I said, this is a Lumberjacks victory lap.
I was going to mention 3-0 down for the Rhythm. What are they going to do? Well, Lumberjacks scored their 4th goal. 4-0 down. What are they going to do? The situation seems to get worse as I keep talking. 1 minute left. Just over 1 minute left. A 4-0 lead. Actually, that's going to be a 5-0 lead now that I say that. Stewie scoring another one, and for the Rhythm, it looks
well, and that's the interesting thing. You talked about that with like a team blowing out the other team in game one. It's such a common thing in Rocket League to see, you know, best of fives go 3-1, where it's like the worst team. I guess, no offense to the Rhythm, but the team that's lower and ends up losing wins game one and then just gets wiped off the server the rest of it. And this one isn't really that. It's been, you know, 2 overtime games, so there's a different world where the Rhythm take this as Trash. Double touch there. Trash takes that one. And we might be heading to a South American country if we're not careful.
We might be. 1 minute left. The dream is still alive. 6-0.
Oh, man.
Like you said, it's been 2 overtimes. The other games have been close. This is an anomaly. 6-0 in this series, that is not what I expected to see. These teams are very much equal in that scoreline. I don't think that does justice, but not to take anything away from the Lumberjacks as we get under 1 minute. I mean, they have been absolutely phenomenal in this game.
Well, I'd like to mention, too, I think it's just probably something about how deflating it is to lose back-to-back OT games. You know, you fight your way back into both of them, and Stewie's going to make it 7 there. Stewie with a hat trick, a trio of assists, and 2 saves. He's going for the triple-triple, basically. And, I mean, it's just a show-off here. He finds another one. But like I was saying, I think for the Rhythm, it's so incredibly hard to bounce back from 1 overtime loss in a game like this. Back-to-back overtime losses where you had to claw your way in, it just all feels lost as there's a chance for the Brazil there, but that one goes wide. Slow's going to keep fighting, and I mean, hey, Rhythm. Oh, Trash, is he going to own goal it? No, he doesn't. Holds on to it there. So we have 30 seconds left, but, you know, like you said, Lumberjacks they find that second gear, and I think this is the team that we expect to see out of the Lumberjacks and why they can be so darn strong.
Yeah, nightmare for Rochester right
now.
20 seconds left. I'm sure they just want this to be over. It was over a long time ago. There's not much to talk about there, but Stewie, I want to talk about him. He's scoring another goal. That's going to be 8-0 for the Lumberjacks. All 3 players for the Lumberjacks in this game are just popping off, scoring goals left and right. They can't be stopped, especially not by the Rhythm.
Yeah, 1,000 points in this one for Stewie, so wow. That's a pretty good mark to hit. I wouldn't mind hitting that myself, and I mean, you could probably guess that from from seeing the scoreline 8-0 on this one. Lozzie's just going to take this one off in the corner. I mean, it's what sometimes happens. You try your hardest, but those games just get out of hand. You lose the overtimes, and I mean, that's really tough to see for the Rhythm there because such a strong team, such a strong season for them. You know, they really picked it up in the second half, and it just, in the end, when the Lumberjacks can really get going, it's hard to stop them, and that's going to be the case tomorrow too. I think, for the Atlas, they're going to have their work cut out for them because if they face a Lumberjacks team that's playing like this, I mean, you got to score a lot to beat them, or you got to play some incredibly good counterattack defense.
Yeah, Lumberjacks started off cold, and they just the temperature kept rising for how they were playing. Game 1, they lost. Game 2, they completely obliterated. Actually, no, I think it was 3-0. It wasn't that bad. And obviously the 2 overtimes. So there was an illusion that, okay, the series might go Game 7, Game 6 maybe. I was not expecting that complete blowout. I mean, that was not even close. Rochester, I think, like you said, you mentioned twice, or a few times, that the overtimes, those 2 overtimes, those are so one is bad enough. 2 in a row, that is so hard to recover from. But all credit to Lumberjacks, and of course, all credit to Rochester as well. You put in a great effort. Yeah,
and and that's the thing is that we talked about Game 3 and Game 4, both of those overtimes just being pivotal. I mean, if the Rhythm take one of those, I think they have a real chance of taking the series. Honestly, after seeing Game 5, I'm not so sure about that anymore. I feel like the Lumberjacks kind of started to click and really find their dominant pressure, because that's the real thing there too, is the fact that not only were they being strong on defense and being like hyper aggressive, but they were converting on that aggression. That was the biggest thing that we saw, is both teams putting up shots, both teams finding opportunities, but just nobody converting. Right. And there in that one, I mean, helps when there's some open nets in there as well. But, for the Lumberjacks, they do convert. So they'll head on to tomorrow. They'll play the Atlas in the grand final tomorrow, 4:15 p.m. So that's going to be quite a matchup there too. I think most people still say the Lumberjacks is their favorite, as we have a little sneak peek back there. But anything can happen. It'll be a new day tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think we're casting that one as well. I believe I'm casting the Challenger Grand Final, so that's going to be awesome. That's going to be very exciting. We'll see if Lumberjacks can continue the momentum that they gained from the series into tomorrow, because tomorrow's the big day. You made it there, but there's a lot of work to do. Atlas, I don't want to say they destroyed Minneapolis, but they did win 4-1. The last, I don't know if you did see the last game. So I was watching it with you. Yeah, they completely obliterated their defense, and that is going to be an absolutely massive match. Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting to see too. I guess if we can quick take a look and see what the season series was. But between the Lumberjacks and the Atlas, it was a 3-1 win for the Atlas actually, and it was week 9, so they probably had this trash DeCarlo Stewie lineup, because early on they didn't, of course, couldn't get all 3 players off the draft, so they had to kind of, cobble it together from what they had. But I don't know, it'll be interesting to see, and I mean, it's going to be another great day of Rocket League tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it, if Lumberjacks play the way they did in those first 4 games, I think Mankato will take it.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a great day of Rocket League. Some upsets, some things as expected, and some great action regardless. And so 10 a.m. tomorrow, once again here from the Left Click Lounge. Make sure to tune back in. We'll have Prospect Grand Final. We'll have the Premier Semifinals. It's going to be all 4 Grand Finals tomorrow. So. For the first time on LAN, we'll see Prospect. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Stewie's excited. He can't wait to get back in here. So make sure to stop by tomorrow.